a little bit like a menstrual cycle, but it's nutrient dense, and that's what's important. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the long-awaited and requested full day of eating while bulking. This is going to be the most optimal day of eating you have ever seen. I'm half joking about that, but half not. As you guys know, I take training and things that are associated with it very seriously, and I take a very similar approach to my diet that I take to my training. So if you're familiar with how I like to train in terms of optimizing different variables, same thing with my diet. Let's little context for today. I woke up this morning at 2:33. I'm bulking probably till about 240. Obviously, when you're bulking, I don't like putting a number on the end because I might get to 240 and then realize I'm not as fat as I thought I was going to be, and maybe could keep going. But generally speaking, I think about 240, and I'm trying to gain about, at the most, 0.5 pounds per week here. So it's a super slow bulk. Slower rate of gain means more muscle and less fat overall. You know what I'm saying? As you guys know, I'm very lazy. I say that every single day of eating video because it's just true. It's not changing. And when I get up in the morning, I'm especially lazy and don't always have the biggest appetite. So my morning meal is just a smoothie. I just put a lot of stuff in it. Easy to get down, easy to make, very easy to standardize. Lots of micronutrient density. That's going to be a big theme today. Okay, so first ingredient for the shake, smoothie, whatever you want to call it, is organic kefir. Fermented foods, which is what kefir is. It's fermented milk, I think, or something. It is good for the gut microbiome. It helps combat and kill. It helps combat the bad bacteria in your gut. And we are learning more and more about how important it is to maintain like an optimal gut microbiome. So then we've got some frozen kale, frozen berries, again, micronutrients, 20 grams of honey, 2 scoops Relo Mode protein, code Evan. I prefer to use vanilla. And then do a little chia seed, a little flaxseed to get some extra fiber in there. Fiber, if you didn't know, is very good for you. Helps with digestion, helps with satiety, helps with gut health. And then some natural peanut butter. I will say, if you guys haven't noticed already, that I obviously am making an effort to kind of eat organic and grass-fed, and you'll see later in my other meals that I eat some grass-fed stuff, pasture-raised eggs, things like that. And I try to opt for more natural things. If you're not concerned with seed oils, for example, or GMO products or non-organic stuff, that's totally fine. I understand that the jury's kind of out as to whether or not those things actually make a difference. But I have the means to do so, and I am compelled by the evidence and the mechanistic thought processes that my much smarter than I friends have explained to me. And so I'm just being better safe than sorry. I don't think you're a bad person if you eat seed oils, and you're not a bad person. Well, maybe you are, but not only because you eat seed oils. Every morning, bro, it hits. Hits every morning. Also, in minor news, I moved. So I now live with my videographer, Joshua, and we got a new crib, and it's a lot nicer than the last one I was in. So it's gonna provide a much more aesthetic backdrop for filming and content, which I'm excited about. And Josh is probably more excited about than I am because he doesn't have to work with as shitty of circumstances as my last apartment. I'm gonna grab a little fast juice. Code Evan. Wow, that stuff's good. In the interest of a well-executed day of eating, or should I say, like in any good day of eating video, we're going to the grocery store. Okay, be honest, my calves look bigger in this video than videos we filmed last summer?
Maybe.
Oh, Dick. Okay, so meal number 2, this is my pre-workout meal. We have a carrot, avocado, serving of chicken, full serving chicken, potato, kiwi, and then sourdough bread with some honey on it. So priorities when you're having or making a pre-workout meal are you want easily digestible carbs and protein. Protein is as digestible as it's gonna be. We wanna keep fat on the lower side just because fat is a little bit harder to digest, and then when we're training, we don't wanna have to be trying to digest food that's more difficult to digest while we're also training. Carb sources should be a combination, it doesn't have to be, but I think it's kind of ideal to have a combination of fructose and then a combination of glucose being like normal carbs. So like carbs from fruit have to be processed by the liver, I believe, first before they are processed or funneled into the body, so it takes a little bit longer for them to get into the body. Whereas carbs from like honey and bread and potato are essentially taken up into the bloodstream right away. They don't have to be processed through the liver first. And so this kind of combination of carbohydrate sources just ensures that I have like carbs at the beginning of the workout, and then, you know, theoretically the carbohydrates from the fruit I will have in my bloodstream toward the end of the workout because it take a little bit longer to get there. Usually I would have some rice with this, but lately I've been just essentially substituting white rice for sourdough bread with honey on it, just because this sourdough and honey just taste really good, and basically they're interchangeable. It's essentially just a quick carb source. Rice is basically just a quick carb source. They don't really have too much in terms of a nutrient profile. Honey is actually quite good for you. It does have some antioxidant properties, but in general I'm just eating that right now because it's a little treat for me, and I've been on a bit of a honey and bread kick. So a little bit of G. Hughes, 0 sugar, no sugar added sweet chili, and that's the pre-workout meal.
Guns out tonight, we party till the end of our time. I need you now by my side. No one can break us, we will survive. I place your star in the night. I thought you seemed so fine. Another memory, that's right. No one can break us, we will survive. Guns out tonight, we party till the end of our time. I need you now.
so post-workout meal requires some potato, and of course I don't have any cooked, so this is how I prep my potatoes. It's a lot of work, but it's super worth it. So first you gotta buy these little guys, little gems, and you gotta get an air fryer. And then you gotta pour them in the air fryer. It looks like a little uterus giving birth. You were thinking it too. Get all those little guys in there. Power on. Potato setting, power on. And then you're done. Wait 20 minutes. Whoa. Post-workout meal. Meal number 3. Grass-fed ground beef, lean ground beef. We got some potatoes. You guys just saw me prepare ever so extravagantly. We have some organic sauerkraut. Another piece of sourdough bread with honey on it. Again, just honestly, because it's like a treat. It's just, I'm on, like I said, a sweet kick right now with the honey and the bread. We've got some grape tomatoes, full carrot, cabbage, raw cabbage, which, as you can see, I'm kind of down to the bottom of. And some white mushrooms. Protein, carbs, fats, and as you can see, tons of micronutrients. I'll briefly go over kind of the reason behind some of this. So sauerkraut, that's a fermented food, like I said earlier, good for your gut health. Happy gut, happy brain, body works better, so that's good. Mushrooms, cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, all very micronutrient dense. And these are, aside from the kale that was in my smoothie this morning and that I have later today, that's kind of like the extent of my vegetables. And then this is just, again, fast carb source, slower carb source, potatoes, a little bit of a slower carb source, especially coupled with the fat, slow the digestion down a little bit. I could eat so much. I could literally eat a loaf of bread. I could eat a whole fucking loaf of bread with some honey to go with it, or butter. Butter on toast is lit. Whoa.
Why are you actually good at that?
I don't know. Meal number 4. Coming at you with meal number 4. As you can see, we're losing our fucking minds. All right. Meal number 4 is very similar to meal number 3, but liver. Yes. We're putting liver in it because liver is good for you. And I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a diehard liver guy because I literally just started eating it 2 days ago, but I'm a diehard liver guy. There's no denying the nutritional benefits or the nutrient density in liver. This is grass-fed beef liver, because if you're gonna get nutrient dense things, you may as well get the best quality organic grass-fed pasture-raised stuff, because you're gonna get the most return on your investment with the already more nutrient dense foods being even more nutrient dense because they're grass-fed. Anyway, I digress a little bit there. So I eat about an ounce of liver a day, which equates to roughly 30 grams. And this is my first time ever cooking it. I just cooked it on the pan with nothing on it. And it tastes kind of like steak that's overdone and then soaked in shitty tap water. That's how I'm gonna describe it. In an iron pot. So it tastes kind of like shit. But anyway, we're not pussies around here. We eat what we should, not what tastes good, most of the time. So I just mix it in with my ground beef. The other thing you can do is freeze it, cut it up in really small pieces, freeze it, and then just like take it like a pill. And that way you don't have to taste it. I just feel like it would maybe take a long time to get through like any decent amount of liver, but whatever. So I've been doing this so far. It does kind of blend in with the ground beef, but it also kind of doesn't, and also kind of ruins it. But again, doesn't matter. We're gonna have some raw cabbage again. No, I have not put this away since the last meal, or obviously changed my shirt or gotten a shower, because Josh and I have been sitting and doing social media bullshit. I'm also gonna have some more tomatoes, and there are potatoes and ground beef in here already. Like I said, very similar to the last meal. And then I'm also gonna have some more mushrooms. I mean, it's basically the same fucking meal except I added liver. And I'm gonna have a bowl of pineapple, which I'm going to show you.
And took out bread and honey.
Oh yeah, no. I'm eating that too, I forgot.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Fuck. All right, so that last clip was a little on the catastrophic side. So now that the meal is prepared, and this is as prepared as my meals get because I don't fucking care, why the fuck would I take the stuff out of the packages to put it in a little bowl so that it looks pretty if I'm just gonna fucking eat it anyway? So, pineapple, 100 grams, frozen, throw that bitch in the microwave, money. Grape tomatoes, again, micronutrients, also micronutrients. Pineapples also help with digestion. Mushrooms again, raw cabbage, again, the red kind, although white's fine too, I just have red right now. Sourdough with more honey, again, because it just fucking tastes good and you need carbs. And then ground beef, grass-fed, organic, lean ground beef. Potatoes, sauerkraut, again, for fermented foods, gut health. And liver. And yeah, throwing the liver in here kind of makes the whole thing taste a little bit like a menstrual cycle, but it's nutrient dense. And that's what's important. So yeah, that's meal 4. And we're behind schedule as usual, so I'm gonna eat this now so that I'm not up until fucking 12 o'clock at night just to eat my last meal. Oh, also, fuck, I love that shit. I'm gonna be making an effort to start using Gorilla Mind's glucose disposal agent a little bit more now that I'm getting higher up in calories. And to be honest, I'm not even that high in calories right now, but a glucose disposal agent essentially is like an insulin mimetic. It kind of like mimics the function of insulin, which is essentially just insulin transports nutrients when you eat them throughout the body to different tissues like muscle cells and all that kind of stuff. So this is just gonna kind of help that theoretically. I don't know how objectively beneficial this kind of product is, but I mean, Gorilla gives them to me, so I'm gonna try and use them. But definitely a good idea if you have like a cheat meal or a super calorically dense meal. So this isn't necessarily a super calorically dense meal, but now that I'm getting up there in calories, like I said, I'm trying to use this a little bit more. So I will take this with this meal and then go for a little quick walk after this to help kind of digest. All right, so meal number 5. This is my bedtime meal, 10 to 11. I'm running a little bit late, but this is my bedtime meal. We got 5 whole pasture-raised eggs, and there's a difference between pasture-raised and free-range and organic and all that kind of stuff. So these are organic pasture-raised eggs. Because 5 whole eggs doesn't give me a full 40 grams of protein, which is the leucine threshold, aka the amount of protein you need to maximally spike leucine, I added a little bit of chicken. So if you think about it, this is kind of fucked. I have a chicken mashed in with unfertilized embryo chicken. So anyway, yeah, so that's great. And then bedtime smoothie is 2 scoops casein protein, 200 grams of Greek yogurt, 0% plain Greek yogurt. As I get deeper into the bulk, I'll do like 2% vanilla or whatever, just like slightly more calorically dense yogurts. But yeah, 200 grams of yogurt, 2 scoops casein protein, another 40 grams of frozen kale. So just like in the morning, putting some frozen kale in there. I highly recommend frozen kale for your smoothies. You can't taste that at all. Way better than spinach in my opinion, because you can kind of taste spinach, and it just helps you get your greens in, and it also acts as kind of like, sort of like ice because it's frozen. And then like a spoonful of chia seeds and a spoonful of flax seeds, ground chia and flax seed, just to get my fiber up. And yeah, a little bit of water, and that's it. That's meal 5. I believe I'll have to double check when we're in post, but this is like 3,600 calories, I think. 3,600, give or take. Like I said this morning, I was like 233 when I woke up. Slowly gaining at about 0.5 pounds per week. And like I kind of said in just the beginning of the video, this is like the most optimal eating, but in a way it is. You know, obviously diet's very individual, so everyone's diet that's optimal for them is going to be a little bit different for them. Same as training, same as almost everything in life. But really nutrient dense foods is your best friend when you're trying to gain muscle as efficiently as possible and just feel as good as possible, because the body needs these micronutrients, these little proteins, these little vitamins and minerals to function properly. And if you're hitting the same macros and calories with shitty food, you're gonna feel like shit, and your body's going to treat you like shit in return. So obviously you can have some fun. I eat, you know, go to all I can eat sushi like once a week, or, you know, once every 2 weeks, and, you know, I'm not afraid of a little treat here and there, but in general, this is how I eat, and I feel the best I possibly can because of it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're gonna start doing some day of eatings a little bit more frequently, but yeah, that is the end of this one. I'll see you in the next one.